The Southeast is quiet because we have no more tears to shed at the pleasure of other regions. It is now your turn. Joseph Ono takes Prof. Usman Yusuf through historical lane. This is going to be interesting. The news in detail, please. The former spokesman of President Bola Tinubu in the South is Dr. Joseph Ono has stated that the region has restrained itself from the isolated hardship protests across the country because Nigeria has refused to accord the South its due status as an integral part of the country, but had rather imposed hardship on the region in the past 54 years. Ono, who is presently the chairman of the Forum of Former Members of Enugu State House of Assembly, FOF Menha, and a former governorship aspirant in the state, stated that the rest of the region and the country should not expect the Southeast to be in vanguard of the present discontent when those other regions feel that the Southeast is not good enough for Nigerian leadership or any substantial inclusive infrastructure. Ono spoke against the background of the former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Prof. Usman Yusuf, who recently expressed surprise against the worsening economic hardship and said, "I honestly do not know why the South is quiet, uncharacteristically quiet, but the president needs to find out." Ono, in his reply to Yusuf, said, and I quote, "The Southeast is uncharacteristically quiet because since after the Civil War, the Southeast has continued to be dealt with extreme hardship and had suffered in the midst of plenty, while other regions bask in the refer of riches and power, with a section of the regions feeling very entitled." The Southeast is quiet because after the Civil War, our properties in the South were taken from us and claimed they were abandoned properties. And I ask, abandoned by who? That is hardship. The South is quiet because they started life afresh with only £20 after the Civil War given by the Nigerian government. That is hardship. The South is as quiet today because we have the least number of representatives in both chambers of the National Assembly. The South is as quiet because we are the only region with the least number of states. The South is as quiet because we are the only region with the least federal government presence in almost all areas. The South is as quiet because we have least federal government projects in the region to date. The South is as quiet because we are the region with one of the largest markets in West Africa based on geographical size and volume of goods, yet has never benefited from the rail project the federal government embarked upon during the last administration and focused mainly in the north. The South is as quiet because we are the only region with the highest number of security checkpoints on the roads leading into our region, it is easier to drive past Ukraine than the South is. The South is quiet because we are the only region with an international airport, yet no international airline departs from our region, except for Ethiopia Airlines that saved the day, and that only international airport is still under construction. The South is as quiet because only the major mining activity, which is coal, has been abandoned for years after Eagle Mining Company left in the 90s and the federal government never showed any interest again. The South is as quiet because even the railway properties in our region have been sold, hence the dream for railway is totally forgotten. Some people ask why the South is as always bitter, but they forgot that the past administration called it a dot in the circle. And today there is not one single foreign embassy in the region, yet we are the largest importers in the country. The South is as quiet because they are the only region always punished by every ruling party for exercising their democratic voting rights for their choice of candidate. The South is as quiet because they are mainly the region that has buildings demolished and the businesses closed down in other regions of Nigeria once they try to exercise some certain levels of franchise. The South is as quiet because they are always The South is as quiet because they are always the region that various forms of hostilities of extreme levels are leveled against once there is crisis in Nigeria. The South is as quiet because they are the only region that are threatened by withdrawals of sales, supplies and distribution of food, livestock and all agricultural produce by a certain region once they spread divergent views in the same Nigeria. The South is as quiet because we are the least employed in the CBN and the FAN, MP and all major federal government agencies and departments in Nigeria. The Southeast is quiet because we are the only region without anything to leverage upon except a resilient spirit to persevere even in the darkest scenarios. The Southeast is quiet because they are the only region that is heavily discriminated against by other regions in Nigeria while we are meant to be one Nigeria. The Southeast is quiet because it is the only region that the regional ministerial appointment was withheld during the current ministerial appointment. The Southeast is quiet because they are the least beneficiaries of any government policies in Nigeria. The Southeast is quiet because the current government, which I worked tirelessly for, has not shown them any sign of fellowship and has been the only government that has fully isolated them to the point they don't feel like they're part of Nigeria. The Southeast is quiet because we are the only region in Nigeria that the cost of airfare from other regions in the same Nigeria is the most expensive and most exploited every festive season. The South is quiet because the extent of neglect the region has received from the federal government has made it more expensive for us to die and cheaper to be alive in continuous frustration. The South is as quiet because they have lived under extreme hardships that even in the midst of abundance, they have only known hardship and become an accepted way of life for them in Nigeria. They have lost the will to dream, and their children have grown hoping for the hopeless. They have lost the will to come together and build a nation because they are too frail to even have the luxury to dream dreams. They have lost the ability to have a good night's sleep because they only know suffering inflicted by certain government policies that affect their businesses and import. Successful politicians, presidential candidates, and ministers have lied to them during the campaigns of what they would do for the region. It is now expected and it is now accepted by the region. They are, of course, correct to invade the high moral ground, but in the real world, the Southeasterners gave up long ago. This honesty from the Nigerian government no longer has political consequences because they expect no better from Nigeria. Rather, they are now a region that simply sit and watch successful government put more effort into crafting words to avoid telling the truth than there is invested into drafting a complex policy and working out what is good for the country. Finally, we need to transform the political narrative and perceptions of Nigeria from a nation saturated by looters instead of leaders. Hence, I urge the President to strengthen the EFCC and unbundle every political shackles that has interfered with their duties from persecuting the so-called secret cows. Nigeria is not India that has abundance of secret cows. The South is as quiet because we do not have the political luxuries, influence, entitlement, and benefit. The same region asking why we are quiet has continuously basked in its glory. Omo, if this man continue, we know come out for a year. Kai. Do you understand? You dey see, if I continue going, you no go live here. And the thing is, everything this man is saying is what these people have been fighting against. So if you come outside and hear these people, they make noise. Now we see because they make noise with this. They scrapped history out of our curriculum board because they do that the truth to be told. And so they scrapped history away. If they leave it there, we will see the evils that have been done against our fellow Nigeria. You cannot say, blacks, now will be our own problem. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.